Even with Diddy already behind bars and facing a wave of investigations, attention has now turned to his son, Christian King Combs. In the aftermath of recent incidents and revelations, public scrutiny has intensified, prompting speculation online about whether Christian could face legal trouble of his own. At this stage, these discussions are driven by questions and rumors, not proven charges, but they highlight how the fallout from this case continues to spread and pull others into the spotlight.
Combs allegedly found her a short time later and insisted she find him a place to sleep. She directed him to the yacht cinema, which was used as an extra sleeping area where he blocked her in, the suit states. Christian Combs allegedly began to touch her and took off his clothes. The suit states that his blank was blank and he grabbed her arms and was trying to force the plaintiff to perform, brains on him, the suit states.
The situation escalated after a former yacht stewardess, Grace O'Marque, came forward with a disturbing account. She alleged that in December 2022, while working aboard a yacht chartered by Diddy, Christian pressured her into drinking a shot of tequila that she later believed had been drugged. According to her claim, the incident left her disoriented and frightened, marking the beginning of allegations that would later draw serious public and legal attention.
The lawsuit. O'Marque says that she had been working as a steward, providing food and drinks on that yacht for a 12-hour period, and she was 25 years old at the time. She believed that the trip would be a, quote, wholesome family excursion, but says it, quote, turned into a hedonistic environment, even describing rampant drug use amongst sex workers and celebrities who came on board. She believes that the alcohol on the yacht had been laced with drugs because she says women would have one drink and then almost immediately pass out or start.
According to Grace's account, she says the situation escalated almost immediately after she drank it. She alleges that Christian later cornered her inside a room on the yacht, where he grabbed her and touched her without her consent. Grace claims that when she tried to resist and get away, his behavior became increasingly aggressive. These statements are allegations made in her complaint and have not been proven in court, but they form the core of her accusations.
And now we focus on December 28th, 2022. She says that Christian reportedly arrives on that yacht very intoxicated and then pressures her to take shots of tequila. She says that she did, that Christian allegedly tried to get her to drink more, and she tried to get her to drink more in the yacht's makeshift recording studio. And that's important, and I'll explain why in a second. The complaint reads, at this point, defendant C. Combs violently grabbed plaintiff's arm and began hurting her. He pulled plaintiff to the seat beside him and prevented her from getting up. And she says from there, she claims from there, that Christian allegedly kisses her neck and face as he gropes her legs, her breasts, her private areas. And according to her, she reportedly tells Christian, quote, excuse me, you don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my legs where I want to. If I want to do this, then I will. You don't touch my legs like that. Now, remember where I said this was happening, this recording studio? Well, the alleged assault was reportedly witnessed by Rodney Lil Rod Jones. This is a music producer who had apparently accompanied Combs basically everywhere for a year while they were working on Combs' latest album, Love, Off the Grid. And we remember that Rodney Jones has filed his own separate lawsuit against Sean Combs and others. And he was saying that he was in this recording studio when this was going on, when Christian and O'Marque were there. And he might even have some audio that was recorded of this.
She says she reported what happened to the yacht's captain, believing someone would step in and protect her, but instead she was ignored and later dismissed from her job. That was the moment, she claims, when she realized she was completely on her own. According to her account, the most traumatic part of the ordeal came later, in the yacht's cinema room, where events allegedly escalated even further.
She tried to go back to work, but Christian ends up finding her and wants her to find him a place to sleep for the night in the yacht. So she takes him to the cinema room of the yacht, and that is when she claims Christian stopped her from leaving, groped her, took off all of his clothes, and tried to force her to perform oral sex on him. Now, she says she was allegedly able to fight him off. Someone walks into the room, and then she was able to leave. And she said when she reported this to the captain, according to her, the captain berates her. And she alleges that the captain may have even been paid off by Sean Combs to keep quiet about what happened. And I will tell you what's really interesting about this complaint. Embedded in the complaint are photographs that purport to be Omarki's arms with bruises on them. And that is really interesting. You don't usually see that in a complaint like this. Now, she's not only suing Christian Combs, like I mentioned before, for all those different causes of action, but she is also suing Sean Combs too. You see, Sean Combs is named as a defendant because she accuses him of aiding and abetting Christian's behavior, as well as having premises liability because he was the leaseholder of the yacht. Premises liability means that you have a duty to keep people on your property safe from injury. So
Grace has alleged that what followed felt like a deliberate cover-up. She claims that only select staff members were asked to provide written statements, while she and her partner were excluded entirely from the process. According to her, this selective handling raised serious red flags and reinforced her belief that the priority was protecting powerful figures, not the alleged victim. Critics argue that this pattern, if true, adds weight to long-standing accusations that damaging incidents were quietly managed or buried, even when it meant leaving those who spoke up without support or accountability.
We're all about, oh, Diddy's turning gray behind bars. Who gives a flying fig about his hair? I don't care. I want this to be about the victims. That's what I want. That's how I perceive it. And I have dealt with so many victims. I've had victims that could never have a romantic relationship with a man after that. That feeling of helplessness, you can't fight back. And you just, then after, people may not believe you. If you're lucky enough to have children, it affects how you raise them. You know, like my fiance was murdered shortly before our wedding. You think I don't know where my children are right now? You don't think I'll look at Life 360 50 times a day? When my husband leaves to go out of town, I'm like, well, he could die. That's just my reality.
That's trauma, yeah.
Same thing with
The case is further complicated by the fact that the yacht Grace was on wasn't located in California, meaning different jurisdictions and laws could apply. But complicated doesn't mean closed. With multiple investigations already surrounding Diddy, federal, state, and even international, anything connected to him or his inner circle can be revisited at any time. Grace's allegations are serious enough that investigators could decide to reopen the matter, especially if new evidence emerges or more witnesses come forward. Christian lives in California, and Diddy has been under ongoing scrutiny across several states. If authorities determine that Grace's account fits into a broader pattern they're already examining, Christian could be brought back in for questioning. And if a case were reopened and evidence supported the claims, he could face serious criminal charges with real prison consequences. Adding to the controversy, critics point to viral footage of Christian circulating online, showing him celebrating publicly, dancing, shouting, and performing stunts on the street, behavior many viewed as disturbing given the gravity of the allegations surrounding his family.
The defense, meanwhile, argued the women were willing participants in fulfilling Combs' sexual desires, and that all the encounters we heard about in this trial were consensual. And there you see, after the verdict, Diddy's family celebrating on the streets in New York City, doing push-ups on the sidewalk while others danced. They said a few words exclusively to ABC News.
Needless to say, Gene Deal wasn't impressed.
That's some clown shit. King Clown. That's some real clowns. Man, listen to me, man. Let me just tell you something, bro. And this is real talk. He's still going to jail. You happy because he didn't get the RICO and the racketeering, so he gets to keep his money. He gets to keep his inheritance. He gets to keep all the shit that they stole over the years from other people. That's why he happy. Him and Puff wasn't that tight. They used to go at it. People close by would tell that story. Yeah, that's still his father. But you and I both know that extra shit right out there, come on, man. Outside the court, the judge might give him extra time for his antics. Puff not coming home, bro. And you gotta realize at 50-something years old, He'll come out to get his Social Security or better. How old is he? Born in 69? We like 54, 55, something like that. He'll come out and get his Social Security. He had to do 85% of his time. That right there, King Kong or Christian, acting like that in front of the courts, in front of everybody. They be taking these judges back information. The officers, they got people around there looking at that. There were victims in this case, bruh.
Then the conversation took a sharper turn. He argued that Christian never truly had to work for anything, saying he grew up wealthy, sheltered, and privileged. According to this criticism, Christian has often tried to project a tough, street image despite never having lived that reality. The remarks framed him as someone playing a role rather than reflecting real-life experience, highlighting what critics see as a disconnect between his image and the life he was actually raised in.
When do you grow up, man, and be who you really are? Because you ain't no gangster. You don't know what a gangster is. You a prankster. You a prankster, son. Stop that. I think when the people heard the mixtape and they called him out on it, and they was checking him and they was trying to check him, but they lost, bruh. They don't have no guidance. The dude who's supposed to be doing, I don't know if he's security or whatever like that. Man, what the fuck is you doing out here like this? He gets on the ground and start doing push-ups up with him. Bruh, for real? Man, put your shirt on and get your ass back in that damn car. Stop acting like you stupid. Act like you got some sense. That's when they making the dollar make them, bruh. The dollar is making them. What you happy about? You gotta realize they know his daddy's still going to jail. They happy because they feel like the government doesn't have a right to mess with nobody's assets at this time. The verdict on the RICO, non and void. Nothing. Racketeering, nothing. And I guess it was some kind of, what was the other charge? Sex or something like that? Not sex. They got the sex charges, but the RICO, the racketeering, and the kidnapping. The kidnappings. Coercion, kidnapping, all this like that. All that was non-void. It went nowhere. It went nowhere. But you still partying? Your dad about to do some time.
Then another clip surfaced online. This time, it showed King repeatedly trying to get his girlfriend to dance on camera while showing off for attention. She clearly wasn't interested, but he kept pushing the moment anyway. For Gene Deal, scenes like this felt unsettling, almost like watching the early warning signs all over again, reminding him of behaviors he says he'd seen decades earlier and believed should never have been ignored.
This must have been like watching a young Diddy in the making all over again.
On the double then, tired of niggas speaking on the family. Niggas claiming brothers, but they can't be. This Bible might come in handy. This Bible might come in handy. It's one out of Jesus Christ, the answer. Sit down if you can't stand me. They wanna stop the kid like a plan. They don't understand, but they stand me. Tell them give me grace, even this.
He ain't no real boss. He ain't no real king. He could make her own, earn her keep. He ain't no real king, man. Come on, man. These kids is clowns out here, bro. You know, it don't have really nothing to do with his father being in jail or nothing like that. You know, these guys right here, they always wanted to be, you know, instead of going and doing something positive in the world and being somebody positive in the world, they live this lifestyle of spoiled, rich kids and been given enough to do nothing. instead of being given something enough to do something. They've been given enough to do nothing instead of being given enough to do something. There's a difference. So, never had to work a day in his life. All he know is the hip hop scene, want to be something that he's not.
He said Christian acts without thinking.
He went on to say that Christian acts recklessly, without thinking about consequences, and that this kind of behavior is exactly what can draw renewed legal attention. According to him, investigators watch everything. Judges, prosecutors, and law enforcement all take notice when someone is bragging online, taunting potential witnesses, making threats in lyrics, or celebrating publicly while serious cases are still unfolding. He argued that nothing goes unnoticed and that every move gets documented. He ended by saying he doesn't even care anymore because, in his view, people who behave like that eventually bring consequences on themselves.
Gene ended his rant by saying he doesn't even care anymore.
Anything for attention right now, man. Anything for attention, and if they want to make you believe that they happy, they want to fool you to believe that they happy, bruh. He's an attention seeker. I look back on all the things that all his sons have been doing. Well, just him, Justin, because Quincy ain't his son. That's Al B. Sure's son. King Cone has been the reckless of all of them that came to represent him. Did some mixtape with Kanye West, dissing the witnesses, threatening them with a rifle outside the courtroom with his shirt off, doing jumping jacks, screaming victory and all that. Talking about they going on tour, the reunion tour, whatever. Then having his girl twerk, or trying to get his girl to twerk or whatever like that.
According to critics, the way Christian Combs has been carrying himself lately could put him on a dangerous path, one that risks serious legal consequences if authorities decide to take a closer look. That possibility carries extra weight given what his father is now facing. The once glamorous lifestyle Diddy was known for has been replaced by confinement and relentless legal battles, a stark contrast to the image Christian appears to be projecting. Observers warn that repeating the same reckless patterns could lead to the same devastating end.
Diddy is just a working class stiff while he's at Fort Dix.
So when you're at a prison and somebody says, you read any good books lately, Diddy is the answer.
He's the guy to go to because we got video of him at Fort Dix reporting for work in the library where he is making recommendations and handing out different movies and books for his fellow inmates.
I'm really fascinated just by the library itself.
But you're seeing him here. This is him reporting to work, taking off his jacket, taking off his scarf, and settling in for a day on the job.
It looks like a public school library.
Yeah.
It's
this was the chapel, and this is the media library in the chapel, which is where Diddy's currently working. He's working in a Life Connections program, which is an 18-month program that helps rehab people, get them closer to spirituality, to charity groups, and with that, it will shorten his sentence. But in this media library, he helps inmates with religious material, rent out movies, that kind of stuff. You see him pushing a cart with a TV on it.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the laundry room when he first got there.
Yeah,
so this got to be
his first assignment.
This got to be a promotion.
Yeah.
It feels like a promotion. It feels like maybe he tried the lunchroom and put in a request for something different.
Yeah, it does it does sound like he used maybe possibly some connections to get a better job.
So here's my question. I mean, that's the story.
Yeah.
My question is this. So Diddy had a certain persona before he got in all this trouble. And now he looks very different, very much older. Yes. When he gets out.
The man who once traveled by private jet, dominated red carpets, and hosted million-dollar parties is now confined to a prison cell, facing rigid routines, a steel bed, and the constant stress of incarceration. It's a staggering fall for someone who was once reportedly nearing billionaire status. Everything began to unravel in September 2024 when Diddy was hit with sweeping federal charges, including sex trafficking, racketeering, and allegedly operating a criminal enterprise. The luxury and power vanished almost overnight, replaced by detention at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, a facility frequently described as harsh, overcrowded, and unforgiving. It's a stark reminder of just how quickly everything can collapse.
The video tonight of a jail fight that ended with a guard being taken to the hospital. It happened earlier this month at the Metropolitan Detention Center. You can see a group of inmates gathered in the day room when inmates begin to fight. When the camera moves back, some inmates start scattering as others continue to fight. Guards rush in to try to break up the fight. That night, our cameras caught one of the guards being loaded up into an ambulance. Here that video is. Video later shows a line of inmates all in handcuffs against the wall. No word on if any of them were charged or what kind of injuries the guard had.
Inside MDC, reports suggest conditions took a rapid toll on him. Sources claimed he became paranoid about the food, refusing to eat because he feared it had been tampered with. People around him described him as visibly shaken, constantly on edge, and barely sleeping, convinced he was being targeted. At one point, there were reports of a serious mental health scare that raised concerns for his safety, prompting heightened monitoring. These accounts have not been fully substantiated, but they paint a picture of intense psychological strain behind the walls.
There was an incident that we first learned about 2 weeks ago during Diddy's sentencing hearing, and he said, I was sleeping in my bed in the prison. It's a federal detention facility in Brooklyn called MDC Brooklyn, and there are federal inmates who are in many cases waiting for their trial as well. And Diddy claimed that somebody held a knife to his throat. He woke up and this guy basically had him and he had the knife, and Diddy was at this person's mercy. Now, it's unclear what exactly happened from there. Was there a guard that came in? Did Diddy somehow fight this person off? Well, it seems unlikely that happened. Or did the person just leave? Bottom line, this guy, at least according to people close to Diddy and Diddy himself, could have hurt him badly or even taken his life. And I think that was something they wanted known during the hearing because they wanted the judge to take some pity on Diddy.
The facility itself only made things worse. MDC has long been described by former inmates and watchdogs as one of the harshest detention centers in the country, plagued by violence, overcrowding, and inadequate medical care. Eventually, his legal team succeeded in getting him transferred to FCI Fort Dix in New Jersey. While it's considered calmer than MDC, it's still prison. No luxury treatment, no special privileges, no bending of rules. Instead of a sprawling bedroom and a full staff, he now sleeps on a steel bed with a thin mattress, a daily reminder of how dramatically his life has changed. Reports say he's been assigned routine chores, including laundry duty, washing and sorting clothes for other inmates. For someone who once relied on stylists and assistants, spending hours in a hot, noisy laundry room is a harsh reality check. And despite the transfer, the paranoia hasn't fully faded. He's reportedly still wary of those around him and hesitant to eat prison food. Even housed in a more controlled unit away from the general population, the psychological strain remains heavy. Many observers believe that while he may endure his time behind bars, he's unlikely to come out of the system untouched by the experience.
Them type of cells are built to mentally destroy you. Mentally, not physically, mentally.
Yeah.
They're not mentally, they mean they're to mentally destroy. And guess what? When people make things for you, they gonna do their job. You smoke weed, you gonna get high. You get put in that solitary, you gonna lose your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's there for. It's there to break you, to stop you. Oh, you wanna act up? Well, put him in there. Yeah, nigga, all the money, you know what PC Diddy think? You know, he gotta come down to what we call a real reality check. You gotta come back down to earth, homie. You never left. You just been so high up there, you thought you was in heaven.
But that's below earth. I'm in prison like hell, though. Like, shit.
It's just one step away.
Yeah.
Mama say you end up dead or in the grave. Well, which one is it, Mama? Dead or in the grave? You understand? I'm trying to figure out. Let's make that make sense. But right now, Diddy in the grave, he ain't dead. He's somewhere he can't, it's like being in a coffin, you can't get out. It's like somebody threw dirt on you, you in there, but you can't get. He in the grave right now, he in Hades. He can beat on the dog, all the things, let me tell you. Whoa, that got me hot right now.
Man.
The only thing gonna save you behind them balls is God. Gotta keep.
Come on now.
Don't worry, man. I said it again. Not the guards. You can call for the rank. You can call lieutenant. You call the sergeant. Guards! God, you calling the wrong one. You gotta call God.
Damn.
That's the only person gonna save you behind them balls. You can call anybody else you want for help in there. Your mama, your daddy, lieutenant this, captain that. No. You should have been calling.
At one point, he reportedly tried to keep himself occupied. Accounts suggest he helped organize a Thanksgiving meal for other inmates and attempted to participate in self-improvement programs while still at MDC. But long stretches of isolation, combined with watching his carefully crafted public image unravel, appear to have taken a significant psychological toll. Adding to that pressure, a documentary examining the allegations and controversies surrounding him was later released, executive produced by 50 Cent, further amplifying public scrutiny at a time when his personal and legal troubles were already overwhelming.
Person as well, and there was one instance in Harlem, and his reaction when those people
went away.
Got in
the car and said, I feel like I need to wash, like I'm dirt. That was, it showed you his character.
Is was that the reason for including it?
Yeah, I mean, what's the odds that you would do that in front of a camera? Like that's one of the moments where he forgot he was on tape.
How do you respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform?
What they consider a pre-existing beef, right, for 20 years, right, is me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester, like maybe you'll come play with me, type of thing, right? And it's not personal.
I think it's important to also let people know that the show is not completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. We weren't trying to just get the highlights, the salacious details, that the real goal was to storytell. And not everyone needed to have an allegation to be a part of this project.
The 4-part series also features 2 jurors from Combs' trial who are speaking for the first time about how they reached their mixed verdict, finding Combs guilty of 2 prostitution offenses, but clear of racketeering and sex trafficking charges, both sharing their thoughts on the relationship between Combs and singer Cassie. Juror 75 describing them as 2 people in love, and Juror 160 saying in part, domestic violence wasn't one of the...
According to federal records, the earliest possible release date listed is June 4th, 2028, and even that would depend on good behavior and completing required programs, which typically offer only limited reductions. Until then, he remains locked into the same rigid routine at Fort Dix, with no shortcuts and no special treatment. The question now is whether history could repeat itself. Given everything unfolding, do you think Christian could end up heading down the same path? Let us know what you think in the comments below.